What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from New Holland Brewing, and they're out of Holland, Michigan, and this is their Dragon's Milk Reserve, the 2022 Reserve 2 variant. So they're calling this one a bourbon barrel aged stout with stroopwafel cookies, coffee, caramel, and cinnamon. It comes in 11% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed time of review. This bottle is approximately 3.5 months old. So it's been almost a couple years since I've reviewed a beer from New Holland. And in fact, the last 3 beers I have reviewed from them have been within their Dragon's Milk Reserve series. I really enjoy the series. They've done a lot of fun twists on the base beer. Now, when it comes to the base beer, I think it's one of the best, like, shelfy bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stouts. I always find the body to be quite thin and watery, but that's kind of a trade-off for having a beer readily available that's a bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout. Same thing with the reserves. They're usually thin and watery. That's the one critique I have of this series, is for an 11% bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout, the body is kind of lacking. Outside of that, though, the flavors can be fun. This one sounds quite interesting. Now, on the back here, they do say Dragon's Milk Reserve is a treasure trove for the adventurous spirit. Each entry in the Reserve series is crafted to push the boundaries of our signature stout by exploring unique ingredients and barrels. An epic journey awaits, and they talk about specifically this one, which I'll try to remember to read at the end of the review. A lot of times I forget because I'm old, and that's just how it goes. But yeah, this one sounds pretty fun. I've had some friends check this one and tapped over the last couple months. I wouldn't say mixed reviews. I don't think anybody was blown away by this one. They all thought it was pretty good, but no one was going nuts over it. So we'll see. I hope I enjoy it. So when it pours out, the funny thing about this is being a 11% bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout, it has this cola color to it. I don't know. I just would love this to be super thick and viscous, but it's never the case, and that's fine. But to each their own, I guess. Anyway, this is out of my dark beer fridge that's kept at 52, probably in the 55 to 58 range right now. So yeah, that has this deep brown cola color. In person on camera, it's probably gonna look pitch black, but I say it's more black up here, and then as it goes to the base of the glass, it becomes more dark brown. Had about a half finger of a light brown colored head that is now dissipated to a thin film. Lots of alcohol legs because it is 11%. Yeah, it looks nice. Let's get a nose. Wow, so that caramel and cinnamon hitting my nostrils big time. One thing about cinnamon is I love cinnamon in beers. There's a lot of people that hate it because sometimes it dominates and it's just too much. Not typically for me, but if it does dominate and it becomes too much for me, then I know for the normal person, it's way too much. This, though, definitely noticing the cinnamon. It almost has a cinnamon bun kind of vibe to the nose. So I'm getting dark chocolate, sweet dark chocolate. A little bit of roasted malt. There's vanillins, that vanilla oak combination from the barrel. There is a slight cookie vibe when I say stroopwafel cookies. No, typically stroopwafel cookies, correct me if I'm wrong, and I usually am. I think they're cookies that are between. There's caramel in between. It has the diagonal cuts and whatnot. Kind of looks almost like a very condensed waffle. It's weird. I enjoy them, though. I've only had them a couple times. It's not something I eat a lot. But yeah, that's kind of what this... the stroopwafel cookies, I'm getting caramel, which you would already get in there. I'm getting a little bit of a pastry-ass cookie vibe. The one thing I'm not really getting is 3.5 months old, so maybe the coffee has died out a little bit. I don't know. But it smells like caramel, a little bit of cookies, cinnamon on top of a bourbon barrel aged beer, roasted malt, dark chocolate, maybe a touch of a molasses. Yeah, it doesn't smell bad, doesn't smell amazing, smells pretty good. But yeah, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. I like that. I like that quite a bit. The cookies, stroopwafel, are very thin too. Almost, not wafer-esque, but they're very thin. Yeah, this actually tastes pretty good. Surprise, surprise, body. It's thin. Yeah. The body, this is higher side of medium at best. Maybe lower side of full if I'm stretching for more higher side of medium. It's thin. It's slightly watery for something that's 11%. This does not drink a watery 4% light beer or something, but for something that's 11%, the body is just, again, the series. I try not to knock this beer because of that, because most of the beers within the series have this issue. Well, you're drinking 11%, bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout with those adjuncts and ingredients. I just want something a little bit more rich, and it's higher side of medium body, a little bit watery for what it is, whatever. So body's thin, like I knew it would be. The mouthfeel, it has decent carbonation, like moderately carbonated. Spritzy on the palate, but very smooth going down. The taste, I'm digging this. First off, the 11%, yeah, I can tell it's a bigger beer, for sure. Would I say 11%? Nah, probably like 9 or 10. Definitely hides the alcohol well, considering the ABV. The taste are right at the forefront. I do get the Imperial Stout. It's roasted malt, a little bit more roasty than normal. Sweet dark chocolate, maybe a touch of like a coffee, and I can't tell if the coffee is coming from what they put in there or the base beer, or maybe a combination of both. Definitely there though. I do see little particulates. I don't know if that's like pieces of the cookie itself. Kind of interesting. It's not impacting the body and mouthfeel. Like I'm not noticing I have to chew it, but definitely see little bits in there. But yeah, right after that Imperial Stout hits, first thing I get is cookies. And it does have like, you know what it's like? It's kind of, so stroopwafel cookies to me, here's the best way I can explain it, is you took like a waffle cone and you flatten it out. That's kind of what a stroopwafel cookie looks, and they put two of them and then like caramel in the middle. But anyway, it has that like waffle cone kind of sweet confectionery cookie vibe right after the Imperial Stout hits. Then I get a little bit of caramel and cinnamon. Cinnamon's not overdone, I don't find. The caramel's definitely there. It's intertwining to make like almost like a caramel cinnamon like waffle cone kind of feeling. So obviously stroopwafel cookies make sense. Right after that, the vanillins hit. More of an oak presence than a vanilla presence. I'm left on the back of the palate with this really semi to full-on dry finish. I would say this is more full-on dry than anything else. There's not a lot of bitterness here. A slight earthy kind of oak tannin dry bitterness, but very mild. It's more dry than bitter. The spirit itself, I'm not really getting like a big blast of bourbon. It's more of the vanilla and oak. You can tell it's barrel aged, but it's, again, very minute in terms of the character on the palate. It's pretty well balanced. It's not overly sweet, although it's more desserty than I would say it is, anything else. So lean sweet, but not overly so. So it's balanced. You get most of the adjuncts outside of the coffee. I'm not really picking that up. I think, again, the biggest negative of this beer and a lot within the series for me is it's just thin and watery. And it kind of hurts this beer to some degree, and it hurts all of their beers to some degree. I expect it. That doesn't make it okay for me. And I'm saying this as somebody who gets this in pretty much every one of their reserve series outside of maybe one or two of them have had a proper body. And maybe it's different for you. Maybe you drink this, you're, well, wow, that's super thick and viscous and whatnot. We all have different palates. This is why beer is subjective. But for me, when I buy one of these beers, I know they're going to be thin and watery. I try to judge the beer on everything, all encompassed, the body, the mouthfeel, the taste, the drinkability, the balance, all that stuff. And I will say that these are a little bit disappointing just because it's thin and watery, kind of like the base Dragon's Milk. That said, this is a pretty solid variant from them. But I'm not going to go crazy high. I think if the body wasn't thin and it was a little bit more proper, this would be into the 4.25 range easily. But as is, I have to give a Dragon's Milk Reserve, the 2022 Reserve 2 variant from New Holland. The best I can do on this bad boy is, we'll go high 4 out of 5. I'll go 4.1 out of 5. I think that's a fair score. Again, if the body was better, probably 4.25, 4.3, something like that. But I have to knock it. I mean, it's part of reviewing the beer and how I feel about this one. And I don't know, again, a lot of times, I set my zoom on, it's just the same. Like, it doesn't zoom in, it won't give you anything. But I don't know if you can see the little floating particulates. Probably not, but there's probably like 4 or 5 just floating around in there. I'd imagine that's the cookie. Kind of weird, but it's not really impacting my thoughts about this one. Anyway, price and availability. I think I paid like $4.79 for that bottle, and I think 4-packs are like $18 4-pack in my area. Probably in Michigan and closer to the brewery, maybe from the brewery, they're more like $16 4-pack. But even so, for something that's 11% with those 4 adjuncts, barrel aged the whole 9, $4.79 for a 12-ounce bottle, not a bad price in my opinion. Might be different where you live. I would even pay $5 a bottle, even upwards of $6 depending on the variant. Availability, it's New Holland. We get them here in Western New York. Outside of that, obviously, I have no idea. Outside of, here's the thing. They probably get distro in Michigan, Ohio, and New York for sure. And then probably a bunch of other states that I have no idea about in terms of their distro. So if you do see New Holland stuff in your area, you probably have seen this one. I think the next reserve should already be out or should be out soon. Maybe I'll pick that one up and review it. But yeah, this is a real damn solid bourbon barrel aged adjunct stout or Imperial Stout. It's just, I'm always disappointed because of the thin body. Outside of that though, it's really good. I can't complain. 11%, really can't taste it. Like I said, 9, 10. It's pretty good. So if you've had this one before, post in the descriptions. Post in the comment section. I post in the descriptions. You post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Till the next one. Cheers.